Hey y'all, welcome to Let's Talk That Talk with Ola.
Tonight we got some special guests. As you see, we can expand the crew. We're going to talk about blended family, the pros and the cons. Um, as you know, you see my wife, the coach. She can introduce herself. Go
I
ahead,
am
lady.
Joy, the coach. I am 50% of the podcast representatives of Regal Mindset. You can follow everything about me at www.iamjoyyoung.com. Purchase my books on Amazon. Thank you so much.
Coco, you want to go ahead and introduce your wife?
And this is my wife, Boss. You got anything to say?
Tell
Go
them,
ahead.
boss. Tell them,
All right,
boss.
what's going on, everybody?
Dante and Kiana, your turn.
Oh, I'm Dante. This Kiana. Hello. I'm sorry. Y'all had to bear with me. This is my first week back at work in the building. I've been up at 4:30 every day. I am beyond tired.
All right, we ain't gonna be too long, and if you get too tired, you can always slide to the left. All right, best friend.
I am Mika, aka Ren, and this is my honey bunny lover.
All right.
This is Cultivate, aka Keisha. I'm a chef, she a therapist. Boom.
Okay, Honey Bunny and crew.
Keisha gotta go ahead and say it. Come on, let's go.
Say what?
Introduce yourself. Give us more. Stop playing
I'm
with me.
Keisha. I'm a therapist, and that's what y'all got. All right.
Period. There, put it out there.
Okay.
Okay, so today we wanted to talk about the pros and cons of blended family, and I wanted to make sure we had what happened? I wanted to make sure we had be able to have different viewpoints. So we have Dante and we blended our family and both had kids, so we get to give our perspective from already having kids and blending them. Then we have Joy and Kiana who did not have children
Teen cancer.
and are now bonus moms to a lot of children. And then we wanted to blend. We wanted to make sure we had a blend of new couples that are together with kids and how that blending. And then we have Coco and Sean, who is also blended as well, which would be with Joy as well.
It's a lot of blending.
Yeah, it's a lot of blending.
Blending.
Mm-hmm.
Like a KitchenAid mixer.
So, Coco, I'm gonna let you start first.
Okay, so of course she said tonight episode is about blending families. And we just pretty much want y'all intake on, how you guys blend. Any questions, make sure you type them so we can put them up on the screen to answer those questions. And I want to start off by asking, what was the hardest thing about blending y'all family?
Who you want to go first?
You can go first, sis.
Okay. Okay, this gonna sound real crazy, but I said it before on one of my podcasts. When I had my first daughter, well, I'm gonna say second too. I didn't want to date nobody with kids. Like I really, really didn't, because I felt like that would be weird trying to put kids together, and I felt like it was gonna take away from, me and my kids. But I soon found out, honestly, that it works. Like it wasn't. I don't feel like it was difficult blending my kids, well, me and Dante kids together, or the family. Of course, it was like little bickering with the kids because it's something different. And I had 4. I already had 4. Dante had 2. So it was a difference, but I don't really feel like it was difficult. What you think, Dante?
It was a little difficult.
I said it was.
Come on, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Shame the devil.
It was difficult because more or less, like, even though we blended the families, I spent more time with her kids than she had to spend with mine. Even though mine was around all the time, we were doing week on and week off with their dad. So, it was whole weeks that they were at the house, and then my kids would come on the weekend. My son would come on the weekends and my daughter whenever she felt like. But it was harder because me coming in, I was the one coming into their territory and kind of like flipping their world upside down, because I come with structure and they come from a place where they walk in the house and get undressed at the door. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. So, you know, it was rough. It didn't last long because I gained their trust really quick, you know, like, but at the beginning, you know, they was definitely running behind her back. Was like, he got all these rules. He got all these rules. But it ain't take long for them to know that my rules was for the best, and I came with good intentions. Like, because I've always, like, I'm a planner. I'm not a planner, but I think ahead. I don't live for the day. I live for tomorrow. So, you know, if I got $5, I don't got $5 because I need $5 tomorrow. I need $10 to say I got $5. So that's the way that I operate. That's the way I move. So I'm like, okay, if you clean up and keep it clean, you ain't got to go back and clean it up. So, you know, that was one of the hard parts. But as far as getting along, that was easy. Like, we just had fun for no reason. So, you know, up until it came to the structure part, the fun was, you know, the kids, because for one, our daughters knew each other. We didn't know that, but they knew each other. So that made it real easy. And my son, he just get along with anybody. So he just quiet. So it was like, it was whatever. So no, that it wasn't hard to get the relationship part. It was just hard getting the structure.
Well, it was hella hard for me. Oh, yeah.
You think so?
It's hard for me because I was single with zero dependents. You know, I'm used to my house being a certain way. If my floors are white, they stayed white till I came back. You know, that was my life. I didn't have to share it with nobody. When I brought my certain guava mango juice in the refrigerator, it stayed there because it was my guava mango juice. Then when people say, "Can I have some?" and I want to say no so bad, and I got to realize that there's more people in the house, so it's hard. It's hard for stuff, and you know, and I could pop off real quick on stuff like that because I'm used to stuff being mine. Like even now, I got my own cabinet. That's my cabinet. Don't go in my cabinet because when I put it in there, if it's my Oreos, leave them in there. Don't ask me for them because typically we're buying for everybody. I don't understand why you got to consume mine. So it was hard because I have to look at them and I'm gonna eat in their face because I don't care. But in the same sense, I don't think it's fair. But I didn't care. And you know, and it's hard transitioning from 0 to 100 in 15 minutes.
Right, that's true. Okay, what about you guys?
So for us, my son is 21. So when I met her, I was done. He was 19. So I also said that I would never date anybody with kids because I didn't want to start over. And I just thought it was unnecessary. So,
right.
So, like I said, initially I was like, yeah, no, this probably ain't gonna work like that because you got little kids and I do me. So I do understand the whole aspect of the learning how to blend. And then when I moved here, it was not very difficult because I'm an easygoing person, but it was an adjustment going from everything inside of the house is mine and it's in the refrigerator. And I wake up and I go to sleep when I want to. And if I want to wash a dish today, or I wash it today, if I want to wash it in the morning, I wash it in the morning because it was just me in my apartment by myself. My son was grown and gone. So that was a bit of an adjustment. But at the same time, I guess their ages made it a little easier. I'm a boy mom by nature. Mm-hmm. And we have a son that's 8. So me and him, that's my roadie. You know what I'm saying? And then it was also fun gaining girls, but teenage girls is teenage girls.
Oh, I know.
Not so much on my girls. So, you know, that was an adjustment because If I sit something down, a brush, a comb, a pair of earrings, a pair of glasses,
They gone.
socks, I look up and I walk past and I'm like, is that my socks? Like, what?
Shoes, everything. You be like, I just know I bought those, and they walking up the stairs.
Like, what do you do? But it's also what's funny because that cabinet, having her own stuff in the cabinet,
Yeah.
she does that.
Yeah.
And since I only had
Yeah.
one son, it was no need for me to do that. So I thought it was crazy that why the cookies hid?
Yeah, until your socks came
Until
up.
my socks started kind of missing.
Yeah.
I said, yes, you can have a scoop of my ice cream, and then my whole ice cream was gone.
All of
So
it's gone.
now we share that cabinet.
I never had that problem.
It's crazy. You be like, oh, can I have a cone? Yeah, you can have a cone.
Well,
But that don't mean you can have a cone every hour on an
Yeah.
hour.
Right.
I'm fine with that. Hey, my
Never
damn
had
ice
that
cream,
problem.
I'm mad at that.
Well, I don't have that problem because nobody like buttered pecan. So I get stuff I know nobody like. You ain't gonna eat my
Like
Oreo.
everything.
You ain't gonna eat my ice cream. You ain't gonna eat my drink my juice.
They like
Ooh.
everything.
Like everything. Anything that we buy, they want. So we're like you too. We buy for the house, you know, when we ask them, like, what do you want? We get them what they want. But what they want is not good enough until they see what we have. Then they
Right.
want to take all our stuff. So that's why I have
can't
my
help
own
snacks
cabinet.
is better.
Yeah. Like,
You just gotta update life insurance because eventually.
Dante, you want to say
For
something?
you, getting with somebody with a grown kid.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't want to date nobody with kids because
She
my
had
kids, even though I had kids, true indeed, but I didn't want to date nobody and, you know, having to have somebody else discipline my kids. I've been through that, and they kids was bad as hell, and I didn't like how it went. So I cut it short. So after that, I've just learned that if I dated somebody with kids, they had to be grown, or you couldn't have the kids. Period. You know.
Right.
I mean, her son is he's a good kid. You know what I mean, or whatnot. He influences my kids, you know, in a positive way. You know, but at the same time, he doing, you know, grown man stuff. You know what I mean? So I still have to monitor that, or, you know, they feel some type of way if he doesn't call or he doesn't come around. You know what I mean? But I also wanted my kids to be able to have all that attention from a mother. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not a mother, but I'm not as nurturing and feminine as, you know, Tamika is. Like the whole, let me get a comb and let me get a brush. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of bald on the sides. I don't have a comb or a brush for you to take.
That will be tangled.
You know what I mean? I got a problem with that. You know what I mean? So I'm that type of person. Like, I do my laundry, and then I'll do y'all's together. But I'm not even mixing our laundry because
Come on now, Fred.
I'm missing.
Girl, kids stink.
So I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
I got a question.
It's what it is.
Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah.
I just listening to everybody say this about, you know, not wanting to date anybody with kids. I too felt that way, you know. I said no more than one. I mean, it's hard to find people without kids. So my thing was, if you got one kid, that's cool. You know what I mean? But sometimes you just don't have no control when they got four.
No control. I feel your pain.
It's the shot. It's the shots being thrown. It's the shot.
But it's something I just also thought about. I never asked her if she ever had a rule
She
about
came
that.
in to 15.
Baby.
Yeah, like
Fully
From the
loaded.
rip.
Fully loaded.
I know that's just something we never talked about. Like, I never asked you, did you ever have a thing where, I mean, because even though I got more, it only seemed like I had the one because the other one's grown and gone.
Right. So I felt like that's even though, you know, it was multiple, it felt like it was only one.
You ain't got to
because
do your
they
face
were
like that, baby mama.
multiple. It felt like it was only one because he was the only one consistently in the house.
Mhm.
And I feel like he was so young and so tender age. Now he just mouthy
growing.
and half the time funky. Like,
Amen to all that.
He's a growing boy. I swear.
yes. But he's still my guy. He's still my guy.
He ignores us when he come in. He literally go upstairs and then he'll call me if he wants something special from the store. And that's how we communicate now.
She
Right.
would
When he
not
used to just
been
come
able
in and
to-
hug on me.
she would not have been able to deal with the house when we had all 6 and 7 together at once.
No, I don't like a lot of noise. I don't like a lot of mess.
It's the
I don't
cancer
like
in
a
you.
lot of stuff out of order. I don't. No.
I wear these 24/7.
And do.
I will block you out in
No.
my own house.
Right.
Okay. So what about you? What was so hard with blending? Because I had 2 before we started, and then we had Journey.
Okay, so for us, coming in,
Did you know I had kids?
no,
Oh,
You
okay.
hit her? You tricked her?
He never asked.
Wow. I would think that's something that
He hit
would
it.
come up.
You hit it.
yeah, didn't know.
That's
Didn't
That later.
a whole
I
nother
get it.
topic. Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast.
She didn't
Write
ask.
that down.
when you
When we first started talking, keep in mind you stopped me for a year. So when we started talking,
Dog.
then I did.
That's a strong word.
come on now.
Did you
It's
stop?
very strong. Yeah, I did stop.
Okay.
Finally met the kids. They were what, 9 and 12.
Mhm.
So coming from
No kids.
no kids biologically. Now I've been active in kids' life from previous relationships, but biologically I didn't have any kids. So I'm like, okay, whew. Like Dante said, the main thing is gaining their trust. So coming in the gate, I knew like the kids wanted to see protection, like that I can protect their mom, that they can trust me. So once I gained that, it was like smooth sailing up until now, like teenage years. It's a little rocky now, but yeah, with the girls. Yeah, with the girls.
Girl, you know, just said teenager, I led with that.
I came in and bought them stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm at the point, fuck them
Her-
kids. That's what
Her
I'm at.
kids is easy to please.
Very
That's
easy to please.
Thing bother her. She's OCD really, really bad to what
That's
a
how we get along.
lined up. Like when you come in the door, so if a slide is out of place, you want to know who kicked her shoe, stuff like that. But she's very OCD. And when you got kids, you got to realize that things are not going to be tight like, you know, you're used to.
I'm learning that thanks to Journey. I'm learning that now. We have
It
to-
always, but you know what's crazy? It take y'all to have your own, and all the
Yeah.
rules y'all set for.
Yeah. I ain't gonna
Now
lie.
I'm not
Everybody
talking about
else
us
did.
that got kids, like kids, right? We'd have had them. I'm talking about the new parents. Y'all have all these rules and
I
stuff,
did.
and as soon as that baby come, all the rules out the window. Now you want to be soft. Now the house can have toys all over it. What?
Mhm.
Where was this at 6 years ago?
Exactly. But then the thing about it is, I can tell them she want to be the fun parent. I can tell them no, and they'll go behind my back. It's a new pair of shoes on the way in the mail, or they going to do this, or they going to do that. But I'm no. But when I first met her, she told me my kids was spoiled.
Yeah. I did. They were.
But she's a mean parent too, because she rules off of parent stuff. So if the kids don't do something, it's always an enforcement. I'm like, you can't use your parent abuse to get the kids to do stuff. Now,
Yes, you can.
yeah,
Yes, you
I deal with them as
Yeah.
adults. That's just it. If you want to come talk to me, you have to lead with, I have a business proposal. That's what you get my attention. Anything else is out the window. I don't even listen. We just don't deal with that. But she's mean. If you wake up before a certain time, I feel bad
Yes.
for Xavier because Xavier has bionic ears.
Yes.
So if I turn,
Yes.
he's opening the door talking about Joy. And I'm like, all right. But if
What
she
time is
him say
breakfast?
Joy too early,
If you don't get out this
she
room,
go back in the room. I say, he's talking to me.
if you don't get out
Yeah.
this room,
I have to protect him at all costs because she's like a dragon.
it is Saturday.
And she
Why
attacks.
are you up for school? It is Saturday. But if
Right.
it's a school, if it's Friday, you want to go to school. I
He
gotta
be
go.
up.
No.
He's up at 3:34 in the wrestling. I hear it. But if he listen, and then if
Mm-mm.
I'm the parent that gets up if they hungry, I get up, I will fix bread. I fix full bread. They're used to that. Like he don't
No,
even
you're not dying. You can wait till I get up. I'm not understanding.
No,
You're not-
they are dying.
Well,
I'm not
if
gonna
I'm
let
sleep,
kids
let me
starve.
Cereal ain't never dropped nobody.
They did when I got
Thank
to
you.
clean
Get
it
you a
up off the
Pop-Tart.
floor.
Thank you.
Now we done dropped the whole house.
Cabinet.
All right, so I have a
I feel
question.
like-
Go ahead.
I feel like for me coming into co-parenting, it was important that because I think I saw something earlier, like, do you have a conversation? I feel like I had multiple conversations with Zay because I never wanted him to feel like I was trying to replace his mom. That's not what my role was. My role was never to replace your mom or try to be your mom, but just to add to your support system that you already had. So I felt like that was necessary for me to like implement to him. Like that, I've never, ever, even still to this day, I'm never trying to replace your mom. You have a mom. I'm never trying to replace that, but I'm just more to your support.
You don't care if you replace mom. You don't want nobody to replace his dad.
That's right.
Yeah, he's your dad.
It ain't me.
You can replace her.
It was an attitude.
Yeah, it ain't me because he has to share me. I already have multiple. He's been in the house with all the kids. But when he had that a long time with that dad and somebody come in, baby, that's the problem. It had not where you could have literally been like, I'm here to replace your mama. And he would have said, okay, not my dad.
I swear, when y'all got together again, he had it out for you. You were gonna be a goner in your sleep because even if they're not doing anything, Ice can literally be watching TV at a game and he can just be sitting there next to him. He don't care. But if that he for some reason in his head he really feels he's a single kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no possible way.
No.
You're like,
well, you know why? Because when he was coming up, you know, like Jazz was gone. Like he literally, when I say did not know her, he did not know her. Like when it was a blessing that she graduated college and came live with me, because if not, he really would not know his older sister.
Right.
And like he treated her like crap because he was like, that's my dad.
Right.
But you know, it's like he attached like that because we just had cuddle time all the time when he was a baby. So, you know, that's what we did. That was our thing. We cuddled. You know what I mean? Like, no matter where we was at, he just wanted to be scrunched up underneath me.
Yes.
Rather I'm asleep, rather I'm woke. He just wanted to be up underneath me no matter what we doing. And now it's annoying.
Well, I mean, not only that, he was the most sickly. So he got attention from everybody. Everybody was always focused on him because we never knew what was going to happen from one minute to the next.
Right.
So he got all of our attention. But honestly, I would say I would never, if Shay decided to go down to Shady Gardens Memorial Park and later her head to rest, this won't happen ever again.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And I tell her, and I said, I'm not saying it in the mean way. We was having our conversation. I said, as a lesbian, you always had that family thing. You know, it was that stereotypical thing. But if I would have thought about that, it would have been an absolute no. It's a lot. And again, probably just because of who I am. It's a lot. I don't mind sharing my resources. I don't mind sharing certain things. But it's just certain things I will literally burn the whole house up over. I mean, my favorite cup went downstairs. I damn near put TJ out that day. I couldn't find my coffee cup to say it was my favorite Starbucks cup with the top. Don't mess with my stuff. And my cup was gone when I got up. I swear, TJ came up them stairs so fast. I said, don't you ever take another cup downstairs in this house and stay in this kitchen. Probably because it was my cup.
That's it. It was the cup.
I was mad for like 2 weeks.
And I can honestly say I wouldn't do it with anyone that doesn't have kids. I would not at all whatsoever. If something was to ever happen, you would have to have, and I mean not like your niece and nephew that you take care of. You would have to have kids. Like you would have to have kids you raised or you pushed out or you had to adopt. So they was underneath of you. Because it's a difference dating somebody with no children. And then they come in and you got to switch everything around and your kids is used to one way. Like Dante said, I didn't feel like it was difficult with the blend of the family.
The kids.
Mind your business.
I already said you act just like them.
But
You're doing too much. You're doing too much, sir.
I'm telling the truth.
No, I didn't feel like it was difficult because it was easy. I felt like it was easier. I thought it was going to be harder because it wasn't too long after I had divorced their dad. And then I'm in a whole nother relationship. And we didn't, to go to Keisha's question, I didn't have that conversation. Would I have a conversation now with the person? Yeah, I would.
I mean, it's a little too late now.
I'm saying if you end up going down to Shady Grove.
So
I would have that conversation because I think it's important to be able to get your kids what they feel, because versus just throwing it on them. Now, granted, like I said, it was definitely a benefit and they were fine, but I definitely would have a conversation now. But I ain't have to have a conversation. He came in, made spaghetti with some eggs, and that was it.
No, hold up. You must forgot about that time where y'all had the little sit down with me, just the oldest girls, and you and me.
They always had a problem.
You remember over Char Oak? Over Char Oak, it was at the beginning.
And what you did?
It was like a little period where they had like an issue with everything, and we had to have a sit down because you was like, I mean, if my girl's got a problem, then
I don't remember that, but I believe you because that's
no. We had to sit down in the living room, and I had to explain myself, and I didn't have an issue after that ever again. But you know, I just had to explain why I had rules and guidelines.
But the rules wasn't that hard.
No, it wasn't hard, but your kids was not used to any.
Okay, so the question for you is, how do we?
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. You want me to go first?
No,
yeah, that's for you. That's good for y'all. The what is it?
McHale's.
Yeah, McHale's and y'all. That's a good question.
I can tell you one thing: Xavier is our main focus. It does nothing else matters. We wanted to make sure when we had our son, before anybody else became our mates, we promised that our son would not have to recover from us or anything that we go through, regardless of what's going on. And as long as you have that focus, I don't feel like it's hard because he's the focus. It's not about even when he get on my nerves and disagree with something I want to say or do. We never do it in front of Xavier. Xavier could probably, I don't think he could ever tell you that we had an argument or disagreement, like nothing. Now the other kids can, but Xavier, he can't tell you that. He can't tell you a moment that me and his dad didn't get along, even if we didn't get along.
Put your link down there so the other kids can reach out.
What you think, Dante and Kiana?
I was ready to say, I say communication. That's one thing I definitely admired, like coming into the situation about you and Dante. It was always an open line of communication. It wasn't, oh, this is just my house and this is your house. Yes, you have personal lives, but when it came to Zay, it was always an open line of communication. And I feel like we still keep that, all now. It's just, it's always open.
That's not fair because everything I asked to get him for Christmas, I was told no. So that is not open lines of communication.
Joy, we're not going to go there.
So I don't know where that comes from.
But you communicated and you got a response.
It was a quick response too. You're like, no, I'm like, damn, I didn't get it out all the way.
So I believe that what y'all said, that also comes with a level of maturity in the parents too. That can't happen when you have one parent that's childish or mad because y'all ain't together or have a drug or alcohol issue or things like that, because that toxicity is already in there. So no matter what you do, how you try to approach a conversation, how you try to approach a situation, it's gonna always bang. And that's like my son's father. He's gotten a lot better over the years, but starting off, him growing up, he was just not a good father. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he'll tell you that.
You want to take him out? I'm with you.
Not only
we ride at dawn. You let me know.
She's joking, just in case anyone sees it.
I want all the
right. Hashtag jokes.
Prayer.
But that created a bit of an issue because, and let's say it, I'm gonna say it just bluntly, I'm a very strong woman. I've been through a lot, and I run my shit how I run my shit. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do the way that I do it, and that's just it. So in other past relationships, I can honestly say I probably didn't have the most respect for them like that, or I didn't hold them to a very respectful level. You know what I'm saying? Because I was the big dog. So I'm running this. I'm probably fitting all the bills. I'm probably bringing in the most money. So I didn't have respect for a person to even take the time out to be like, you know what, let's have a conversation about how we raised my kid. I didn't give a fuck what you thought. Right. You know, it was going to be like it was. And if you ain't like it, you can leave.
Right.
But when I met Keisha, it was a little bit different. The level of respect is different you know, and the whole, she came in grown woman, big dog doing her damn thing.
Right.
So it's like at that point in my life, it's like, fuck it. He 19. I don't even know how to have a conversation about him. I don't even know how to try to blend his father with you, or make that meeting even make sense, especially the way that my son's father treated me. He was abusive. He didn't put pistols and guns on me, like all kind of crazy mess. So even though that's the past, she still want to take his head off. You know what I'm saying? Because you did that to my baby, and for what?
Exactly.
And back then I was this big. So and he's like 6'4" or something stupid. You know what I'm saying? So that I admire your guys, the way that y'all communicate. I be seeing y'all, the whole family, all 28 kids, all in the picture. You know what I'm saying? I'm just playing, but I love to see when y'all post pictures y'all stand up for y'all kids. You know what I'm saying? If it's a birthday, if it's a graduation, if it's a prom, y'all all there. That is admirable.
Yeah.
And quickly to answer that question, how do you manage absentee parents? For me, there is no managing. You're not there. You know what I'm saying? And you might, and again, for me, my son is grown. So at this point, whatever parenting that you was trying to do or thought you did is done.
Well, now I want to throw a curveball on that question, if I could.
Yeah.
Let's look at absentee parenting when it comes down to same-sex relationships, when there's not a particular figure there present, if that makes sense. So, like with our daughter, you know, she doesn't have a father. Now, granted, she thinks Ice is her dad, and that's fine. It is what it is. He treats her the same across the board.
So does Kiana.
It does, exactly. But she gets those conversations from her nieces and nephews when they were like, "Oh, you don't have a dad," and then 1 week you got a dad. It's a lot. So I feel in that absenteeism, we try to make space for healthy men to be in her life so that she won't feel that absentee. So that's how we're managing any absenteeism. The other kids have a well balanced. Every parent is present, from the oldest down. Every parent is present. So we are managing that absentee on that level with her, because we don't want her to feel different of not having. Because she asked me one time, we was with Naya, now you got a daddy, just like that. I said, well, you know, back in the early 2000s, daddies was necessary, but in 2020, it wasn't necessary with you.
I mean, it's true.
And she accepted it. She walked away like it was okay. And when she get older, she acts again. So to me, managing absentee parents is just making sure that, like even with my father is wonderful. But in the beginning part of my life, he wasn't there. Even though him and my mom was married, I was conceived on her birthday, all of that good jazz. He wasn't there. But I felt the Lord had people in my life to where I didn't have a daddy issue. I might have had an issue with Thurman. At that time, we're excellent now. But I didn't have a daddy issue. I had strong people in my life that helped make me who I am, helped rear me into that place. So even in that absenteeism, I don't feel where it impacted me negatively on any level. And so that's how we're managing it, because I'm pretty sure a daddy-daughter dance gonna come up and I'm pulling somebody off their DJ booth to thank them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying.
We're gonna be there.
He would, and we gonna politely put it on your calendar. You got somebody to take to a daddy-daughter dance. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or her godfather. Anybody that's present, the people that is in her life is real healthy and real present, and don't make her feel any separate than anything, even if she wasn't birthed from their situation.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Go ahead.
And we just don't acknowledge it. Once my kids became a certain age, it's like I never kept them away. They just cut ties.
They form their own opinion on how they feel. You have to be very vocal.
You're supposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
And they tell us now, my parents, y'all my parents, aren't you? Or say something like that. So it's like she took the place, not even trying to take the place of the dad, because he was absent. Because once I don't know if it was an embarrassment or he felt a certain type of way when I did switch over, but
On switch like it's car insurance.
once I switched over, it was like, fuck them kids. So
Exactly.
I felt like he felt. And as you saying, fuck them kids, it's 1-800 chance for it at that point. And
But they never went without.
they
never
never
lacked on
went without.
anything. So that's
Yeah.
the main part. As long as they're not missing out on anything, and I'm not
They don't
talking
care.
monetary or tangible things, but the love, because they do wonder, okay, my dad was here, before
Right.
you came. He was around, and now all of a sudden, hey, you don't get me for the summer, or he's not coming around for birthdays or graduations. They wonder about that. So we allow them to be vocal about their feelings.
His loss.
And up until now,
Right.
my dad tell you, I said, did you talk to your daddy? Oh, he's blocked. He been blocked since my birthday. Now her birthday was in July.
Well, Jesus.
So I'm like, hey, I can't.
And then people like that at the end, that's when they regret it. Like in my family, my sisters, we have the different DNA when it comes down to the father. We have the same last name, so it just helped make things in the house better. But my younger sister's father, he said when she was 6 months, I remember he came to the house and he said, I don't want my family to know her because he was married with children and whatever. But she was 13 when he passed away. He called to the house and he was like, I know you're mad, because he was talking to me. And he was like, I know you're mad, blah, blah, but I want her to meet her family before I die. And I told him to die without her, because for 13 years you knew what she was. And we have gotten her to a point where you're non-existent, and we're going to continue to be non-existent. And he died without knowing her. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, well, that was a harsh decision to make. Then I made the best decision for my sister. And I don't want to introduce somebody who denied you from day one to be in your life just because you're about to die. You're not going to get that pleasure. If you want to know her and the wonderful person that she is and who she's grown to be and how beautiful she is, you would have seen it from day one. And I think a lot of people who choose that path, they're just going to have to eat that path and be done with it.
Especially you got the final say.
And listen, I gave my sisters their names. I was there from day one, and I'm 13 years older than that younger one, so she was mine. When it is what it is. So no, I try to make the best decisions for them. And now she's going through that absentee thing where there's nobody on my birth certificate. Hey, you're in the 30s now. If you want to go meet that side of the family, I still know where they live at. I will go with you, introduce you, and let's see how it happens. I said, but this is the thing I told her. You had a wonderful godfather. You had wonderful people that took you and made you theirs. You shouldn't be having this issue. But then again, our emotions are different. So, you just have to, and I just feel that as great as your children are, even though I never met them, I didn't even know you had them. Hey, it's new information to everybody. As great as your children are, they're going to miss out. And it's going to be at the end when they realize how great of a person that they lost and they just could have had, over some stupidity. So it is what it is.
Chef Smith, I got a question for you. What type of relationship did your son and the ex have?
It wasn't very good because he was in and out. But my mother always told me never talk bad on him to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't. So he went for years thinking that this man had a job when he didn't. You know what I'm saying? He was a street dude. He sold drugs and things like that. So he didn't have a job. But for years, my son thought he just worked a lot, because when he wouldn't call or he would stand him up or do something like that, I was, oh, maybe he had to work and maybe he had to this, maybe he had that. Then as he got older, now I'm cussing the father out. But my son never heard that part. So I got to a point where I think he was about, I want to say 6 or 7. And he asked me, did he call? And I told him, no, he hadn't called. And I asked him, did he want to call him? And he said, no, I want him to call me. And it was like, that was the turning point for him. He really wasn't trying to mess with him like that to a degree. And then after a couple of years, he had a conversation, and his father started telling everybody that I was keeping him from him, but it wasn't me. It was the decision that my son was making based on your behavior and your actions. And he got to a point, he running off at the mouth, and he said to my son in front of everybody, "Yo, mama kept you from me, and so and so and so and all this other stuff." And my baby looked him dead in the face and said, "You don't work?"
Wow.
And he was like, "What you mean? No, I ain't got no job." And I said, and I just sat back. My baby said, "My mama said every time you didn't call, you worked. If you didn't show up, that's because you had to go to work." And everybody in the room was looking at him like he was stupid. And then we didn't hear from him for a little while after that because he was embarrassed. And I never felt bad about him. I let him make his own decision. And their relationship right now, again, is rocky because he don't have that level of respect for him that he wants him to have. But my son remembers all of those times you were supposed to show up and mama showed up. All of those times that you said you was coming and you didn't show up, so we went and had pizza. All of those, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of rocky ground right now. But I personally, I stepped out of it. You grown now. You want to have a relationship with your son? Relationship with your son. You don't need me for that. And if you don't want to have a relationship with you, that's some shit you got to eat.
So I have a question. What was one of the best things about blending your family? For you personally, not just for the kids. Everybody can answer, but whoever want to go first can go first.
The Anthony's, y'all start.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. What, y'all? You the guest.
Don't do the boss like that.
I should know she was coming.
The best thing I have to say is us being able to bring in our last child. Because I wanted another one, I wanted a boy, but it's clear that Journey is the last.
I know, right?
Made it clear that it is the last, but their bond. Journey's bond with our two oldest kids, that has to be the best for me because you have to, ride that ride with us. They could have said, "Hey, look, that's y'all child."
Yeah.
I mean, they care for Journey as if Coco birthed her, and I was the one that birthed her. But they love her.
I'm glad
so
you
much.
said that because the people out here in the audience that work with me, I see them. They swear I care for her.
I thought at one point you did too.
No,
That's all her.
But that would be the best part for me.
Okay, Ren.
Oh my God.
Okay. Oh Lord. Again, being 100% transparent, because that's what this platform is for. The best part for me is being able to help raise my younger children now with the maturity level involved. The amount of maturity and growth that I have now, I didn't have at 23 when I had my son. So I don't want to, it might sound terrible to say it, but it's almost like I got a chance. I did the best I could with my son, and he's a great young man. He's just at that age where he want to do what he needs to do. It's his life, and you know how everybody know how teenagers is, and when they go into adults, now your mama didn't say nothing, and you don't know nothing about what she's talking about because you know everything. But I get an opportunity to really pay attention. I don't have to raise me anymore. So now I get a chance to really pay attention, like my baby boy. I pay so much attention to him. I get a chance to enjoy all the little things that I missed. You know what I'm saying? Like I know my son, my oldest son, I know him. That's my kid. You know what I'm saying? But the way that I engage with my younger babies, I have more time. I'm more stable. I'm mentally mature. So I get the joy versus the responsibility, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like when you're younger, it's I gotta carry my baby. Can you watch him? Can you watch my kid? Can you? Oh my God, you're getting my nerves. Stay down. You're moving too much. You're jumping too much. You're doing too much. Now
Still
you can
doing
roll off the side of the wall and they don't even bother.
Mhm.
Side of the wall.
I mean, he does that. He real life.
don't put Matthew in there out there like that.
Right,
I'm
yeah,
just
not so
saying.
much on my baby.
My
now.
baby got a lot of energy.
What's your favorite part, Keisha?
You know, at the beginning, I mean, we still have a good relationship, her son and I. You know, I had that conversation with him. I pulled him aside. You know, he was a young man. He was concerned about making sure that his mom was actually going to be with somebody that was going to take care of her. You know, so the first time of me meeting him, I was real nervous. You know what I mean? I explained to Rand, like, I had several conversations with my daughters and my son about bringing somebody new into my life. You know, they talked on the phone before we met in person. You know what I mean? I had made sure I had the conversation with my girls that they were okay with me dating. You know what I mean? They were fine with me dating, especially knowing that her son was 19. But to fast forward, when I first met her son, like I said, I pulled him aside and we had that conversation about my finances, what I do for a living, type of house I lived in, what kind of car I had, you know what I mean? What my 5-year plan at the time was, you know, and what my intentions were with his mother, because I needed to know him to know that I wasn't coming in on no bullshit. You know what I mean? Again, it was that gaining his trust, you know, and as our relationship, you know, grew, you know what I mean? I had to have that conversation with him as well. As I'm not trying to fill the space of your father's shoes, whether it's a positive relationship or a negative relationship. Even though you're grown, you still got a daddy, and that's not my place.
Right.
You know what I mean? But as far as being a positive role model, you know, helping you with your finances or teaching you how to be the head of a household, I can do that. Teaching you the three P's that a man should know: protect, profess, and provide for his woman or his household. I can do that because I do that. You know what I mean? So we've had those conversations, and it was very emotional for me in the beginning to know that nobody has, well, I'm not gonna say nobody has sat down to talk to him about it, but he had no clue he had no clue of what I was talking about. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that I would come at him hard about, and he'd be like, my dad didn't teach me that, or I don't know that. You know what I mean? So it was very emotional. Even when he told me he was proposing to his now fiance, you know, he asked me to walk down the aisle with him or to help him pick out his tuxedo. And I'm like, why would you not ask me for that? You know what I mean? We've only known each other for a short time. You know what I'm saying? Why would you not ask your dad? But instead of questioning it, you know, I just kind of quickly changed the subject. And like I said, I got into my chest a little bit. And I had I had to realize that I was dealing with a young man who really wants to stand up to be a man, but I can't teach him, knowing that I can't teach him how to be a man because I'm not a man. Right. But I can teach you how to be a leader. You know what I mean? I can teach you how to provide for your family.
Oh,
you know? So for me, that was the best part of it. You know what I mean? And then being able to stand in the gap for Ren and her son, like, hey, you know, I understand you're the mother, but sometimes you got to take them gloves off. You have to let this young man live his life. I mean, we've all done it. When we get that age, we blame everything that we went through on our parents. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're at right now, being transparent. Mm-hmm. That's where we're at. So it's like, but I also had to have that conversation with him. Like, you not going to talk to my girl any kind of way. I know you the baby boy, but that shit ain't going this way. So you're going to have to be respectful. And if you cannot, you know what I mean, then we're going to have to cut ties so you can figure out how to navigate these waters. But we were able to have that conversation. And even though it got a little heated, he respects me and I respect him. You know what I'm saying? But we're still able to, you know, have that conversation, notice that the love is still there. You can be mad, you can do whatever you need to do. But when you come to this table, when you come to this house, oh, you're going to show some respect. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to push you every step of the way, whether you like it or not. But that's just how we get down.
Exactly.
That is how you get down. Kiana?
I think the best thing that I have enjoyed about blending family was, for one, I'm 13 years younger than Dante. I felt like I could.
Find out Dante a cougar. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, you're a panther. You're the male cougar.
A jaguar.
It's a little young timber.
I was there to like allow him to see a different like generation of parenting in another way that could still be effective. And Zay also allowed me to see patience on a different level than what I was used to as well. And even still, day to day, after day after day. But I think just knowing that I could absolutely love somebody outside of somebody that came from my bloodline was an eye opener for me, because I absolutely love him. And like even Abby, like I love them so much, and they're not even my children per se, but you can't tell me that they're not my children.
Right.
And knowing that I could just have genuine love for these children and being able to show them, you know, just unconditional love. Because even when you mess up, I'm still gonna love you.
Yeah.
Even when you're getting smart, I'm still gonna love you. And just them knowing that they can always have a safe place to come to. Even, you know, if Abby mad at y'all, I'm gonna let y'all know she can come here. She can come here, and just for y'all to know that she gonna be safe.
Oh, she mad today. Right
she
now.
can come here. And she gonna be fine.
Yeah, she is.
I think Zay got something to say about that.
Nobody there.
Definitely.
What you think?
Mine was a little different. The best part of mine was a teaching moment. Like prior to being with them, I was in a long-term bad blended relationship. So I never saw the good side of being with children. Like my experience with a blended family was bad, like terrible. So when I got with Shay and her kids, they showed me a total different side. Like I'm not used to this. I'm not used to respectful kids. I'm not used to, you know, I wasn't used to, just like they wasn't used to my structure and my rules. I wasn't used to not having to fuss and cuss at a kid to get them do something. I wasn't used to a child truthfully being grateful and you ain't do shit for them really. Like, I mean, like, it was times I had to tell them, stop saying thank you. But I respected that. Like they literally, her kids literally taught me a whole, and by the time I got with her, I was already into my 30s. So, you know, I was like, that's why I really didn't want to date nobody with more than one kid, because of the bad experience I had for 11 years before. It was like, I ain't dealing with nobody and they badass kids no more.
Right.
For real.
But,
for real. Man.
And it's crazy because like I knew she had kids and I had never met them or whatever. And it's crazy how I met the oldest two. But I knew from that night that we was gonna be all right. And like, cause I met them and wasn't supposed to meet them.
Oh, what's wrong?
But somebody got drunk at
Doing too much.
Hold on, transparency.
Exactly. Talk that talk.
Is that
And I think, and honestly, right there, I think they looked at me like, you know what? This dude literally don't know us, whatever. And he got my mom home safe. He could have took her and did whatever he wanted to her. And he got my mom home and treated us like he knew us forever and he just met us. You know what I mean? And it was like instant respect. Like they gave me instant respect. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I never met them. I knew their dad. I knew both of their dads. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, that was a plus too, because I already knew who their dads was, and they knew I wasn't trying to come in and be their dads, because I was cool with their dads to a certain extent. But
Don't
But
put it out.
that's pretty much, they showed me that a big family didn't have to be stressful and bad, because they like to have fun. Sometimes they want to have fun when I didn't want to have fun. But
That annoyed me.
oh my God,
Mhm.
shut up. Yeah. So, I mean, they were very playful. They were very jolly. Like, everybody had their own little attitudes, and you just learn how to deal with this attitude, that attitude, that attitude, that attitude. You got to learn how to deal with each one. When you got that many kids at one time, you have to learn how to deal with each one of them in a different way.
You just keep iterating this a lot.
No,
That
you
many.
know, I mean, it's the truth. Like, you literally, you can't treat this one the same way you treat that one, because the attitude is totally different.
Right.
You have to,
You
you have
can't
to
do
approach
that with
that.
4. So
Yeah, you got to approach that totally different. So I actually, you know, I gained a relationship with each one of them in my own way. You know, we all found what clicked with each other.
Right.
You know, oh, me and her clicked with that. Me and that clicked with that. You know, TJ like her. He just want to be on camera all the time.
That's it. He just like
So,
Y'all
as long as
just
I could take him in the bathroom at the
Right,
restaurant
okay.
and let him take selfies in the mirror, he was happy.
Exactly.
I probably got about 15, 20 restaurant pictures in the bathroom with TJ is sitting.
He's a celebrity, like his
when I
mother.
met the kids too, it was just like instantly click. Like, you would have thought they knew me for years. They just they definitely like welcomed me. I would say from the very first. I feel like I was more nervous than anything. I was like, Lord, I'm about to meet all these kids.
And I held
that
them
word
away
all
for a
again.
minute. I held them away for a minute because I felt like those were my bonus kids, and she was my new wife. She literally really did not have to have a relationship with them.
Right.
Like, they skipped a generation. They didn't have to have a relationship. She had to have a relationship with Xavier because he's my biological child. But she doesn't have to have a relationship with Shay other kids at all. And I wouldn't have fault her for that, because those are my bonus kids. Those are, you know, I only use the word bonus because she be saying that something, but all in all,
stuff.
no, we don't do. I
We
mean,
don't
like,
step,
you
we don't
know,
do step at all.
I only saying bonus because right now we having this platform in biological, but anybody, they my kids. So, you know, I just didn't want to. I didn't know how she would be able to accept that. She knew off the top. I got 7 kids. She knew.
Told you it was a lot.
You know what I mean? But
I was like, what?
right. But after I broke it down for her,
I was like,
she was like, okay. And
it's
then
an equation.
right. And then on top, to tell her that 2 of those are grown and they really don't matter. I care less how they feel. They don't matter. But, you know, it was one of those things where, like, a lot of stuff, the way that we deal with each other, she felt was weird. So she was like, that's weird. You know what I mean? Like, y'all relationship ain't it's weird. Like, y'all, but once we got closer and she started to see that, okay, it's not so weird.
Right.
But for somebody coming in to see the way that we all, you know, the way that I accepted them, and me and her been over for so long, they would think that me and her were still together the way that I, you know, treat and deal with the kids. So she was like, that's weird. But what I do love, she never ever, not one time, had a problem with me dealing with them the way I dealt with them. She could have easily been like, those ain't your kids. You ain't got to go do that. You ain't got to do that. But never, not one time. So right then and there, that just melted me. Like, you know what I mean? Because those are my babies.
What about the young?
I was ready to let Joy go.
So people know, I actually do. He's not legally adopted, but I have a son I had since he was 6 months. He's 28 now, and so we don't see him much because he lives in Florida. But so we have him too, and he has 3 children. He just had a 4th, but that one is the one that passed away. But he has 3 children now. So out of all the kids, now hear me out. Fuck these kids. I'm here for the grandkids. Fuck these kids. Because when I came along, the only one that's been more consistent was always Xavier. The rest of them were back and forth. I stayed at my house. I didn't see them like that. But as they grew, we grew. So I love the get-togethers. I love the family functions. I love the laughter. I love the grandkids. They can drop them off for a few minutes, go have fun, and come back. If we spending the night, we need adult supervision because I'm shutting off at a certain time. I went to sleep on them at Thanksgiving because I don't care. As long as Abby ain't screaming, that we're perfectly fine. So it's really to get together. And I think where we are now, the role that I play is helping you into adulthood. If you want to talk, how can I grow? How can I be more productive? I want to get a degree. I want to do that. Those are conversations I want to have. Anything else, I don't do small talk well. So I don't care about your boyfriend. I don't care about nothing about life. If you want to borrow money, you need to have a plan of payback. And if you don't pay me back, you will never get another loan. And that's how I deal with them. And we work well. They know when to come ask, when not to ask. You know, certain one of our little add-ons, you know, he didn't pay me back for a whole year. So don't ask. I don't care if you're hungry. I'm not giving you enough for a bag of rice because you broke that relationship. You didn't. I'm trying to teach you a lesson that I feel coming in. My life was so different. I was raised by old people. So it was a lot of stuff that just didn't go well for me at all. So I had no understanding. I wasn't mean to them, but I wasn't as hands-on and involved. You know, I'm big on school. I'm extremely big on school. So when you're not doing well, I don't understand. And it goes into Joy might be being mean. No, I don't understand why that sentence don't make sense to me. I don't. But they also know that I will give them and get them anything they want as long as it's right. It's nothing I don't think I ever said no to. And even as a family, everybody get together, especially for the bigger things. You got one that's going to the prom. Now, granted, I was going to say no, I wasn't giving nothing to the prom because I thought his outfit was stupid. But then he took my word for it and he got a tuxedo. So I got him the tuxedo because now it ain't stupid. But it was stupid. So he wasn't getting nothing. And I told him, I said, I didn't like your outfit. I felt like it was pieced together and I have no opinion, nor am I helping.
I think the car's stupid.
And I told them last year to get a car. I said,
we're talking about blending families.
Okay, I'm sorry. Because I'm just going to let you know where I am. See, this is not that you need to take my perspective or nothing like that, but it's like, if it don't make sense to me, I tell me on the back end. I'll give, but it's only so much I'm going to do. But it's all about the grandkids. It's all about Christmas. It's all about Thanksgiving. It's those times we spend together. And it's the best part is when they walk out that door and go home. I love it.
Oh my God.
I'm done. Turn her mic off.
Okay, I wish. So my best part is, as a mom of multiple children, a few, you know, I always had the fear of what would happen to my kids if I had to leave, because they don't all have the same parents. 3 do. 3 are same mom, same dad, but the other ones are not. So I always had a fear of what would happen, like where would they go? Who would make sure they're okay? But once I opened myself to having a blended family on my side, like, you know, because I didn't want to share my kids with, you know, having to share stuff. But once we got together and I really was able to see, like, it's really not that hard. It's not, nothing was taken away. Like, everybody was treated the exact same. It is the fact that if something was to happen to me, I know every single one of my kids will be okay, because they have, it's not just 2 bonus fathers. They have their biological father, all of them, and then all of them literally have 2 bonus dads and 2 bonus moms. So it gives me, that's,
you got Jessica.
Oh shoot, you're right. 3 bonus moms. You are so right.
That's what he said. You keep forgetting Kara got 6 sets of parents.
She do,
Yeah,
but it gives me that. It gives you that sense of peace. I think that is my absolute best part. Like, I don't want nothing to happen, but if something was to happen, I'm not ready to cry.
Okay.
I am not. If something was to happen, I know that all of them will be okay. I know they will still get together, because that was a huge thing for me. I think that's my favorite part. Like the family would still be a family versus everybody going different ways because nobody's attached to anybody. Everybody's attached some way, shape, or form. And that's my favorite part. All right, now about this car real quick because y'all gonna stop coming for me. He my oldest son. It's his prom. All right, continue. What's up? You got anything you want to ask?
No, I think blended families can be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I think if looking back, it's a lot of conversations we should have had. Like one, when me and her got together, she had the girls. She didn't have TJ. Then the girls started acting up, so then they ended up going their own ways or whatever. So in my head, we're subtracting. We're not adding no more to the bunch. But then she was like, well, TJ, I think he got mad at his dad. He came and said, I'm like, I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for a new person in the house. And in her head, well, it should have been a given. And I'm like, well, to me, it wasn't a given because I assumed he would be with his dad all the time. You know, and that's to CJ is with his dad all the time. Different with Xavier because, you know, everybody has their own time. So it was conversations we didn't have. We didn't have conversations about discipline. We didn't have a conversation about expectations and, you know, how to keep the house, what I like, what, you know, and so a lot of times I felt like I was the odd man out. Mm-hmm. Even though this is our house, I still felt like the odd man out because it's more them than it is me.
And
I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
And TJ has no rules, no structure.
None, and that's where me and him had our biggest argument because of that. Because he felt like, well, this is my mom's house, which it is. So Joy opinion and say don't matter. The fuck it don't. Because you have a house to go to and you can leave. And that's how that conversation went. Because there is no level of disrespect I'm gonna tolerate from anybody.
Absolutely.
I don't care who it is. And he felt like it is. And I mean, and I get it. He's the king. You know, everybody treats him like he's gold. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care. I don't see that. But he's gotten better. He's matured a little bit better. And he, you know how to act. So then we don't have that problem. But he was extremely disrespectful. It was on a whole totally different level, like punch you in your fucking chest disrespect.
But you see, we have like, we have a schedule for Xavier or whatever. And it wasn't as strict when Shay was right across the street from me. And then even when y'all moved down to Oderton, because we were so close. So if he wanted to stay extra, he could stay extra, blah, blah, blah. But one of my main things for structure that, and then Shay is not a shot at you, but right. I mean, it happened. So you got to hear the hard truth.
It's the Aries. Okay, go ahead.
Since I met TJ at the age of 2, TJ could do what TJ wanted to do. TJ didn't have to stay a week if he didn't want to stay a week. And I don't know how many times I used to tell her, make his ass stay. If the girls got to come and stay for a week, his ass needs to stay for a week. Because he should not be treated different than the girls. But Terrell was lonely. He needed TJ, his support system, his little puppy dog. That was bullshit. Because TJ could call him 10 o'clock at night on a Wednesday, and he would get up and come and get him. So eventually it did get to the point where TJ came when he felt like it. TJ left when he felt like it. It was just no, and it got to the point where, guess what? The girls never went with Terrell. TJ never, he did come with us way more than the girls went down to stay with Terrell. And I didn't like that he was okay with that. I wasn't okay with that, but their dad was okay with that. And then he started to feel the brunt when his little support system puppy dog didn't want to follow his rules and be around him. Now he's seeing what, everybody else is seeing. So that's why it was important to me. Like, okay, you know what? This boy gonna go here and there. And yes, because of school, he spent more time, with me in that our house because of school. But if it wasn't school, we would probably be like, all right, look, 3.5 days, your half day, you got to come get him. Because that's just how, but, it was like we had to have structure and we had to have that united front. You know what I mean? Like no matter what goes on between us, he won't have to know. He don't know about it. You
Right.
know what I mean? Because what if he in trouble there, he in trouble here. Like even though we have separate houses, we got one house when it comes to him. So yeah, or you punish from your game there, you punish from your game here. Like point blank, we're not gonna have a child playing sides because
And they will do it.
Yeah, they
you know
will.
I've seen that so many times. Like I said, I was in a bad relationship, and you know, we had a son together, but then she had 2 other kids, and her 2 other kids knew how to play us against each other. So at one point in time, it was me and my son, you and your kids. But I still had to take care of all of y'all because that's just the type of dude I am. I'm gonna feed you. I might not be happy, but I'm gonna feed you. I ain't gonna see you hungry. I'm gonna clothe you. I'm gonna feed you. I ain't gotta like your ass though.
Right.
And I'm sure I hate to say that, but I didn't like them kids. I loved them. I love them till this day. I still love them. I raised them for 11 years. I still love those kids, but I ain't gotta see them another day in my life.
And to be honest with you, sometimes the real parent don't like them like that either. And but nobody
No,
will admit it.
them niggas ain't coming around. They ain't like them kids either.
I do.
I do too.
Well, I think
The
it's
first time go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, thinking about the whole structure, I believe that the way that our relationship evolved, like I started off in Detroit before I moved here last year in July. So all we had is phone and video conversation. So I had an opportunity, the way her schedule was, I had an opportunity to hear a lot of how she disciplines and how she wants things. Now, at first, when she would cuss the kids out, she would mute the phone. Give that work. So when she come back, everybody scrambling around the house and they moving around and it'd be more like, hold on for a minute. Then she'll come back, and then I'll be like, okay, yeah, they doing what they're supposed to be doing. Oh, okay. So for the longest time, she would mute the phone, and then we was having a conversation about just a random conversation about how you raising kids or discipline about whatever the particular situation was. And I'm like, do you do that? She's like, yeah, that's why I put you on mute. I'm like, what? You can if we're evolving into a relationship, I need to know how you talk to these kids. Like, because when I first met Keisha, I thought she was like a square a little bit. I'm like, she probably ain't telling her kids nothing. But when she unmuted that phone, baby, and she
you heard it all.
together, I was like, oh, we in there. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. So it was, I got a chance to hear it first. And then when I got here, I felt like Joy felt like I was on the outside. But I really felt on the outside because I came here. I came into their space. I came into their home. And I'm trying to find my place and figure it out. And I don't want to be the extra mean ass person, this girlfriend that came from hell. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to navigate and
that's your LS.
That's what I do. I'm trying to navigate and understand, but then getting the opportunity to be inside of the house and hear the discipline. It was shit. Sometimes I was like, hey, goddamn, not so much on the kids. Like
you trying to hold it back. Like, hold on.
Wait a minute. Like, hold on. I was like, oh, you ain't no screw. You body slam one of these. Okay.
Every single last
No, but I felt I couldn't, I didn't know. I ain't gonna say I was afraid to discipline, but it was almost like I didn't want her to feel like I was trying to come in and take over, because at this point I'm working from home and it's summertime. So now they're at home with me all day while I'm working. She still has to work. So it's like, well, shit, I gotta say something because I can't let them run over me. But we had a real good conversation about how past relationships, which you was talking about, where the kids played off of each other. So since she had experienced that already, that was one of our main conversations. All right, we know kids play off each other. We got to always make sure we're united front. And even if I gotta be like, take her right to your room until I figure out what I'm gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
I will get. Then I'll call her like, hey, did you say so and so? Did you say
Right.
you did? Okay, girl. Okay, all right. Look here, little nigga. You saw. You know what I'm saying? And then but it works. It works, and they know. I know for a fact that they know that I love them with everything I got in me.
Yeah.
I also had an opportunity when I left, and I'm not saying this was like really on a table type of thing, but when I went to Puerto Rico for 5 days, my kids was like, when is Mama T coming back? Because this ain't it. And then when I got back, they made me cry. When I came back home, they was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But when I came back, we was riding to church, and out of nowhere, Ava, the youngest girl, because our kids are 8, almost 16 and 17. They did 21. But when I got back, we was riding to church, listening to church music, and out of nowhere, Ava was like, you can't be gone that long. The house felt weird. It didn't feel like we was just missing something. And I'm in the front seat, pumped up.
Oh, soft thug. Soft thug. Where was your Aries at? You was getting very much.
My Aries, you know how the Aries is. We love. When we love you, but when we don't, we don't.
Matthew went to school hungry.
He came in like, can you make my lunch? Because Mama wasn't making my lunch. I said, what you putting in lunch? I put a sandwich and some chips. I'm like, baby, my baby goes.
That ain't how you do it.
That's all you need is a soda.
He got juice. I cut up fruit. He got fruit snacks. You done sent him to school with a lunch and a sandwich and a juice.
That little nigga was hungry for 5 days because he ain't want me to make his lunch.
He survived.
It did.
Well, speaking of discipline, I've never disciplined the kids. The most I'll threaten. I do threat. Now Abby, she gets it because she mine, and she act like her mama. So I have to beat it out of her sometimes.
But when you say discipline, are you talking about verbal discipline?
No,
verbal.
About pop discipline.
No. She did
verbal. Pop nothing.
Verbal.
Okay, whatever you want to call it. However, now Xavier, I may just send him to his room, but he had more fun in his room anyway. So I honestly, discipline is making him sit down here with me. Mm-hmm. That hurts his feelings.
That's the discipline right there.
Yeah, making him interact with you, that's discipline. So I learned that about him, or making him do schoolwork so he can eyeball me. Every time I walk by, or he walk by, he eyeballing the hell out of me. Like you ever seen that movie, Firestarter? I bet he be setting my ass on fire every time he walk by. I make him do some work. He did joy. That's all he say. Joy. Well, get in there and read. So that'd be a problem. The other kids, now I've seen Shay beat her kids up. So I tried to be the
hashtag the rope. Yeah,
I felt bad for them.
But I don't have to now because they're older.
Yeah, they older now. So I've witnessed, and I might have to speak on. I'm gonna tell my story one day. But other than that, I've never seen TJ get in trouble. Never.
But he has though by his dad.
Never.
That's your favorite?
That's her favorite.
He's not. I don't have a favorite.
That's her favorite.
So for my kids that are watching, I don't. I love you all. But if you was
not
gonna,
as much as.
No, seriously. If somebody was going to say I had a favorite, it would be Naya. Honestly, that is my road dog. That's my right hand. She gonna get up and ride with me. It could be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. She can go work at 7. If I need to go somewhere, she is not letting me go by myself. She ain't. I feel like if something happened to me, you might as well go ahead and put her beside me because she's gonna be the one that's gonna go.
That is true. I would say that.
Yeah. But TJ, he's my first boy, so it was a little different. But his dad disciplined him, so I didn't have to. And his dad is a man, so I ain't had to. I had to go rescue my baby. I had to go save my son.
Oh my God, TJ's not breathing this week. Oh
my God.
I don't discipline. I don't.
You don't discipline.
Not even Journey.
No.
Of course not.
Journey
of course not.
Journey don't need it.
Time out.
Of course not.
Time out.
Journey, wow.
Boy, she gets the tone
Time
change.
out.
But the older ones, I don't have to because my voice, it speaks for itself. I can verbally communicate what I want them to do or what, and they gonna do it. They just those kids. I'm sorry, but Journey,
She think everything funny.
yeah,
That's some
Journey,
COVID kids, man.
yeah.
I'm normally the discipline, the yeller,
We have to be.
the beater, the. But see, I don't have to be the. Not anymore. Not anymore. No, Journey, I get with Journey. We have to fight. Like I have to slam her. Like I slam her because she'd take me for a joke.
That's Abby.
I think it's just that age bracket because she'd be like,
Yeah.
I talked to her over the weekend while we was out of town, and Abby was like, "Where's Shea Boo?" I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "You know, your mama heard that, she gonna bust you." In the
Oh, let me tell you, I hate now TJ, him and Naya will do it because they know they want me to chase them. It's a toxicity thing that we have that they want me to fight them, right? So they'll do it just to get my response. But I hate when a kid call our parent by their first name. Like Abby calls her Joy, or sometimes Mama Joy.
That's when she wants something.
When I
it's
tell
Mama
you,
Joy.
that is like the girl that made me want to all up in here. And see, with Dante, his daughter called him dad, right? Of course, it's a daughter. His first son calls him Ice. When we had that son, we had a whole conversation. Xavier will not be calling you Ice. Well, I call my dad Mickey, and DJ calls me Ice. Xavier won't. I will have to choke slam that boy if he come in here talking about, yeah, Ice. I what? I couldn't hear you. Let's try this again. And I'm doing it with Abby now. Like that is not Joy.
But she,
This
and
is Mama Joy.
I'm not making it like I'm not okay. I'm okay either way.
Is.
But the thing is, she hears everybody else say Joy. So it's just common. Now, granted, the day I told her she was standing by me when I was working, she kept saying Joy. She was doing it to be funny because she had just told her to stop. So Joy. So I said, I'm not answering you to you. She's like, "Till I call you Mommy Joy." So she an ass. She's an ass. So she know what she's doing. But you know, it's that age. I don't even have the energy in me to fight with her. I don't care. That's why she gets anything. Just give it to her. Just stop her.
I feel
I don't
like
want to hear it.
at this age, Journey raising herself.
But
just give them a cup and tell her to get some ice and water at that refrigerator and some snacks.
But however, I keep telling her she has a Capricorn daughter, right? And y'all know I'm big with the zodiac. And you're doing to her what my aunt did to me. I didn't hear no. That's not no such thing. And everybody I've ever dated, and when I say dated, we had a kid. If one got a kid, I ain't date them. But anybody, that's what I said. So anybody that I've dated did the same exact thing. Y'all heard what I said. They don't count if I had no kid. So they did the exact same thing. So I'm telling her, because she keeps saying, how do I handle another you? I'm telling you right now, you're going to have to put your foot down because if she knows she can get whatever she wants, this one over here, she going to do what her mama did. She going to get whatever she wants. Therefore, stop. You can't
every single time.
Cry. If she cry, it's just give it to her. No. Because you said you didn't want another spoiled Capricorn in your house. Well, you're surely on the way. You're surely
not Joy, not her sweet girl.
And her girl is the sneakiest one out of all the kids.
Don't speak
all of them.
I think those kids are.
Fiona, we got the dog. This lady will come over here and kick the net. And then we peek to make sure we're not watching her, kick the net. And that's where he's sitting at on that corner. And then if you say, Abby, stop. I did too much.
I don't believe
it. Dog. Like it's not a toy.
Not my Abby. Not my Tic-Tic.
I don't believe it.
Kids was made to humble y'all.
They made to outlast us. They made to take over. They like the children of the corn. They're gonna go get Malachi and Isaac and just run us the hell up out of here. Cause I gave up. I gave up. I don't. I have no fight in me. None. Zero.
Well, I discipline and I spoil and I discipline. So they get a mixture of both. And like Xavier get it all. Like, you know, because I didn't have to discipline the other kids that much because I mean I don't know if they didn't like to see me pissed off. So it really wasn't that they were afraid of me. they just knew when I got pissed off, I got pissed off. So the easiest way for me not to get pissed off is just do what I ask. It's not I don't ask a lot, so do what I ask, and we good. And they knew that, so they like, oh, the way to do them, I don't feel like cleaning up. But he said, wash the dishes. I'm gonna wash the dishes because when I ask him for something, he gonna give it to me. But if I don't wash these dishes, he gonna come in this house and fuss and cuss, and everybody gonna be in trouble.
Everybody.
Xavier don't care. It's what he feels.
You know what? The thing I love about him, but that I also hate about him, is he don't hold a grudge.
No.
Like literally, he could say, like he could look at me, and in his mind, I know he choke slamming the shit out me.
He WWE in that ass.
But he know if he jump, I'm gonna kick his ass. But then he'll go in the room, and 2 minutes later, I hear him playing. It's like
Nothing.
that ain't the same kid that just looked at me like
he want to kill you.
Slit my damn throat.
I know he did. You know how Norbert went in the room was like, I know he be doing that.
That's our 8-year-old. He be mad, and he get this look on his face that just be like, "Don't fall asleep." Like he give you one of those kind of looks. Yeah, but I my disciplining is different than her disciplining. I use what they're doing against them. So I wait it out. I'm one of those wait it out. You do something to me, like I asked you 5 or 6 times to do something and you don't do it, it's cool. But then when you walk up on me with that permission slip that you need $25 for, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And then now they be like, well, we missed it. You didn't do it. Oh, because remember when I asked you?
Oh, you one of those.
Do what I asked you to do 5 or 6 times and you didn't do it. This is what happens when you don't do something that somebody asks you to do. So after doing that for a long time, and I'm never mad about it when I do it, which is really, really funny. They told Keisha they think I'm crazy because
Thanks.
because when I'm talking to them, I'm like, I've asked you several times and I just so happen to
that's crazy.
The neck.
That's crazy.
I don't want anybody to be upset. Just pick your fucking sister up, take her on in the room, because I'm a snap and probably pop your head off a couple of times, or you're gonna wake up and I'm gonna be standing there trying to make sure you're sleeping well, and you're gonna wonder what's going on. They'd be like, okay, Mom, we don't know. Like she might be a little psycho, but now when I be like, oh, you're not gonna do it, then you see everybody like. And now they flying around the house because they don't know what I'm gonna do. And that's exactly what my youngest daughter said. I don't know when you gonna kill us and when you not, because you smiling all the time.
You don't know when you serious.
She said she don't know when. I said, like, I could tell them to do something and they be like, wait. I don't know. And I'd be still sitting there.
It's a little bit crazy, sis.
So did you?
A little bit. That's a lot.
I have
watch
never
the
yelled at
polls or
Zay.
no?
I've never even yelled.
Yeah.
Ever.
Because Xavier he don't like yelling.
Yeah.
You don't.
I'm a yeller. I've been trying to.
I'd be like, Lord, all that hooping and hollering.
But that's because we done had all them chums.
But see,
and now when it got to Zay, all we got is a yell. That's it. We ain't got nothing
he
left.
built different. You hit him.
Totally
You hit him hard when you don't buy him V-Bucks or whatever we got.
Or Takis.
I mean, because we got to spend $100 every weekend on some damn V-Bucks. I don't know where that come from. And then he'll wake up.
That
He'll wake
afternoon
up.
snack.
Yep. Don't you take
That
away
hit him hard.
or don't pre-plan his snacks. That's another thing. If you take away his pre-planned snacks, because he want to know what he's having tomorrow. And I'm like, we're not pre-planning food. We're not meal prepping. You'll get shit tomorrow.
That's how he be at bedtime. That's what he do. Like, tomorrow, can I have some Skittles with a little bit of Kit Kat? And he
but as a snack, I'm like, go to sleep.
No, I don't. I never give him what he asked for on his lunch.
You don't? Because he shouldn't be happy about his lunch. Because I get all the complaints.
That's because I fix good lunches. No,
gourmet.
No, see, okay.
Because I ain't got no packs of candy.
No, you got to understand. you got to understand, it's certain snacks in here that he just won't go for, but he likes.
Mhm.
So that's what goes in the lunch. Because I know if his ass in school hungry, he gonna eat them oatmeal cookies. But if he got a choice to grab Takis or jelly beans or Reese cups, he not gonna get the oatmeal cookies. But I bought them shits. You gonna eat them shits. So
Well, Shay make raggedy lunches anyway. She don't make them with love. I hear her upstairs going off about the fucking lunch. So I
That's
know it's not made
because
with love.
that is because me and his dad is totally different. His dad is very, very domesticated. I am not. So I don't plan anything besides podcast. That's planned. My birthday, kids' birthday, stuff like that. But when it comes to lunch, even though, because our schedule just changed, but even though I know he gonna be here Thursday and gotta go to school on Friday, it is nothing that says go to the store and get his snacks. So when Friday morning come and we packing that lunch, and I'm like,
Man, we ain't got no bread.
I ain't got no oatmeal cookies. Nope. We don't do much. We don't do a lot of soda. I don't do a lot of candy. No, I don't have it. So we have to stop at Royal Farms on your way to school and let's pack your lunch in the car. And then you just
That's
go
what he told
go
me.
to the day.
He said,
But
"My
his
mom
dad,
told me to go to Royal Farms."
packs his lunch. He gets up and cooks for him. Like, it's two different lives. I'm not domesticated. I'd rather build the
So
house.
it's
So
nothing
y'all-
for me to send his lunch on Thursday. I've done that
No, you
plenty of
did.
times.
Remember that time? A couple times you sent the lunch on
I've done
Thursday. Yeah, because you saved me. And I
So
love
next
it. Thank you.
episode, we need to talk about who the fuck I married. Because right now she's giving shit that I need to explore. What are you doing?
She do this. It's like she know I don't earn. Why do I need to earn as a dryer?
First of all, that's a
Ain't no C.
exactly, Fred. I'm like, Fred, I don't understand what the fuck the problem is. You don't fuck that shit up.
The meat should not
Took out clothes.
They have
We
the
don't
wrinkles. They have the.
the fat stretches it out and the wrinkles are gone.
I see why y'all together.
I'm talking about the kids. She is good for coming out the basement with a school shirt. He can go ahead and put that. No, he cannot. He needs a crispy shirt. This got to be crispy. I need to fold the collar down because if I don't, he gonna come out the room with one of the collars up, one down. I need
Put it in the dryer.
I'm not understanding.
Oh my God. Put it in the tumble a little bit. It's gonna shake that all out.
Exactly.
And she knew I wasn't domesticated. I
No, we
dated people
didn't.
and married
We
people
should've
that were
talked this through.
domesticated. They did what I did not do. I don't want to vacuum the floor every day. I don't want to make the Dante.
Can we
his
make an
side-
appointment
Hold on.
for Thursday?
This is how she knew. Okay, I remember telling her Dante's side of the room will always be folded neat. His shirt set a certain way, and then you come on my side, and my socks is still in my pants leg, and you pull them up, it's right there.
God, I hate you.
So you already knew that wasn't my thing. He cleaned and washed the clothes, not me. Not me. So you already knew what you was getting into.
My blood pressure.
Let me build the house.
Yeah,
Let
I'm
me put the car together.
So pretty
I'd
much,
rather go out
I
and
married
work.
a man. I married a whole
Let
Bob
me-
the fucking
I'm just
builder.
saying, let me buy a desk that you need to put together. You want me to redo the kitchen? Let me do that. Let me do stuff that's
I
creative.
can do
That's
that. I
going,
can change
you
the
know,
light fixtures, all of that. But
But
my
I even
socks,
cook
shoes,
you a
and everything
meal.
I took off is going to be on the
Right.
side of the door.
I don't want to
Yeah.
wash clothes. I don't want to dry them. I don't want to do any of that stuff. Let's hire somebody to do those things and
The fuck?
go on about life.
Like,
I
don't
have been
mind
trying to get.
I'll do
I
that
have-
type of stuff. But I'm not, if my stuff is on the side of my bed and it's all over the floor, that's my side of the bed. It shouldn't be up there.
Wait a minute.
You know, she have a problem me kicking my shoes. And I told when I met her, when I come in the house, I kick my shoes off right down when I get in the door, and I'ma leave them.
Cause you gotta put them on tomorrow.
The fuck? I don't know. You know, I really think we need to get together and let them be on their own. Because right now, this is not working.
I have been trying to hire my baby mama right there in the blue. I have been trying to
No.
hire her. We've been here how many years?
It's not that I don't want to utilize the money for that. It's too many hands and too many feet in this house not to clean up after themselves. Because I don't understand washing dishes. I understand wash dishes, wipe down appliances, sweep that floor, mop it, wipe my refrigerator down. That's what I feel like clean. So if I come down and I just, because they love the dishwasher, and one day that thing gonna break, and we gonna see how this house gonna go.
I'm gonna fix it.
And I'm like, I hear the dishwasher, and I be like, so ain't nobody gonna rinse the fucking
You don't
sink
even
out?
like that.
Then you wonder why I'm mad for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I'm mad for 2 weeks because I done said when we had our sit down, I printed out 5 pages of cleaning, and I went down every room and I put exactly how I wanted it clean, how I wanted to look, what I expect.
I thought that was weird.
How that was weird. You
I don't
see,
know. She got a whole little board and be like, these is your chores, and these is your chores, and these is your chores. I'm just looking, make sure my name ain't up there.
but it ain't even about.
But if you follow it, we won't have no problem. I won't
Exactly.
come home and act no
Thank
asshole.
you. Then
It's
you don't
simple.
want me to burn the house down because that's how I feel.
Right.
It's
Well, all you
not
gotta
about
do is do
chores.
what I
It's
tell you
more
to do.
about the level of cleaning that I expect.
And then now our
Yeah.
kids now, I will say our kids clean. Now they'll use all of my damn cleaning products. But they will clean the house. But they believe that the more product, the cleaner it smells, the cleaner it is. But I came in with the let me look at the bottom of the toilet on the part.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now I am very, when it comes to that part, it's great. But when I take my clothes off, they're going to sit on the side of my bed.
That's
Mine
me.
too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Mine's too to this day. I just got them this
I
morning.
probably got a pair of pants and socks and t-shirt. Take
I
off
just-
right now.
I feel that we should be entitled to
My clothes
conversation.
actually made it downstairs in the wash machine today, so
Oh,
really it's
feel me on
nothing
this.
beside
She
my
shake-
bed
shake her
today.
head like me. She feel me on
Well,
this.
you just heard her say, Shine, all the shoes got to be straight. That's how they is at the door. When we come in the
Yes.
door, Keisha's the same way. She
Yes.
got a little rug that's in the front of the door, and I'll
got
come
that.
in
We got
and
that.
I'll just boom, boom, out my flip flops and boom, boom into my my
But you
house
can't have
shoes.
more than one pair of shoes there.
See?
Oh,
See what I'm talking about?
what you
You
saying?
can't have more than one pair of shoes on.
Take up the whole rack.
No, you could have one pair. If you ready to put another pair, you got to remove a pair.
Thank you.
And
If I'm walking
Keep
around in
your
house
feet while you
shoes,
walk
my
into
flip
your
flops is
room.
at the door.
Keep
So
your
when I
feet
get ready to
while
go
you
outside,
walking.
I take the house shoes off and step into the flip flops. But I'm not finna position
I'm
them
running out of
where the
room.
holes is perfect up against the wall. Man, you don't get out of here.
And that's why you always be looking for your shit.
I'm running out of room.
And like no, and this is the thing. Xavier, he would take his shoes off, drop 13 book bags. He had 13 book bags, and I don't understand why. He dropped them all off right here, then go upstairs. I said, why you ain't just take it with you? You was on your way up. Then I go over there to the table. He done put 13 pair of socks up under the table. And I'm like, buddy, why do you have on so many socks? But then when I tell you to go find socks, you never can find socks because all of them are down here. Like, I don't get it. And that's the same thing with Shay. I'd be like, they on your feet. Just keep walking. Just keep them on and keep walking and just escalate up to the room and drop them off. I don't understand why they circle. All of them in a circle.
See, I got designated shoes that can stay by the door. Then I got shoes I got to walk straight to the room and put back in my suitcase. So because those shoes that
You one of them.
no, those shoes that I like the shoes that go in the shoe-case, they only get worn maybe every couple of weeks or so.
Right.
Yeah.
But I got my slides and my regular tennis that stay by the door because they
I
get
stay by the
worn
door.
just to
So
go
what's wrong with
on,
my
go
flip
on and
flops
go.
and house shoes?
No, man. 'Cause you can only have one pair
Yeah,
of shoes by
I
the
got my
door.
grocery store, I got my barbershop slippers,
Mm-hmm.
but
See?
my Jordans, I might wear a different color, so they're not gonna go by the door because if they go by the door, I mean they're gonna sit there for 2 weeks. I'm not gonna wear them for 2 weeks, so
Right.
I walk straight in the room with those,
Right.
and then I'll carry hers in there a couple days later.
And I have this thing about walking with. I have a thing about walking with outside shoes
in the
on
house.
carpet.
Oh, God.
Because in my mind, people spit on the ground. It be ants and
piss.
bugs. It be roadkill. You know, come tracking through the house. Then I'm supposed to get out the shower and then put my feet on the same carpet.
Well, what do it matter? You leave your clothes every day and wear, so I'm not
That's
understanding.
on my side of the
Thank
bed.
you.
What, you know, with me working,
My
in-
clothes didn't just roll around outside.
I walk through the
If
house.
you leave on the floor.
They in the house. I don't like this conversation. The topic is blended families.
We done got off. Why the hell we done got married with people who don't like take their shoes in the room? That's what it turned into. It done turned into a whole goddamn series on why I'm about to choke this person out over here.
Another
Man.
She knew what she was marrying.
I really didn't.
I've been the same person my whole life.
I really didn't. I really didn't.
It's a normal thing. It's just not me.
She not gonna care. Sean not gonna care. She said it's not just her. She not gonna care. The rule, they don't care about that. They don't. They don't care. Everybody else in the world is like us and not them.
That's a weird place to be.
Only y'all live there.
Exactly, in their own world.
Okay, anyway.
That's a diagnosis, honestly. If you're the only one down.
I'm okay with that.
I'm just saying, that's a pill.
Whatever.
You need to take it because there should be other people involved.
No,
All right, so let's wrap it up because we have been on here for an hour and 40 minutes.
Because something wrong with
With,
y'all.
with some good
Did you tell
conversation.
they get in the shower yet?
No, he'll be mad in a little bit. Now,
Mind your
let's
business.
Break it down to him.
I got it.
We was on the time frame.
I know, but I hear him. He in the shower playing his VR. So
See, that's why I was asking late in the morning.
But see, hold on, let me tell you something about lying. You just wasted that breath on that line. That might have been your last breath in a couple of years. And God gonna remind you that you used it to lie. Because that boy, he up there playing his VR.
Right. When you got up and walked away, I was like, oh, she ready to go tell Ziggy.
no, I ain't got to charge you for my thing.
Mm-mm. We negotiate. Well, she negotiate with him. I'd be like, go get in the shower like right now. She'd be like, you can get in there at 10:02 and he gonna
No,
hold
I
you
don't
to
go that
2.
far because you need to be in bed at 10.
No, he knows 9:30 is shower time. 10 o'clock is bedtime.
No, I know 10 o'clock bedtime, but I ain't do 9:30.
So you can't get in the shower at 10 o'clock.
Hey, you text me later. We don't do this on here. What is wrong with you? You know that's not what we do.
You want consistency.
Mind your business.
I'm just saying, because mine's sleep.
Y'all seen that separation? See, we ain't blended. We is not blended. All right. So to close this out, I want if anybody got anything else to say, and we can go around, and then me and Coco can be last. So, my cows, y'all want to go first? If y'all have anything y'all want to add before we close out?
Yeah. When you ready to marry somebody, figure out how they like keep their bedroom.
I appreciate that advice.
It's
We're
the
not married
shade.
yet.
It's the truth. y'all.
It's the shade. It's the shade.
like I told her once before, she has choices. She could be with me, I could be with her, or we could be together.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. No, but my exit is, I think maturity helps with communication first and foremost, but maturity also helps with blending the family. And you can't be scared to talk to your person. You know what I'm saying? Some people be afraid of the outcome. If it's meant to be, it's gonna be. Say what you gotta say, mean what you say, and have a little bit of compromise in there. You know, everybody had different methods of parenting. It doesn't mean that the end goal is not to make sure that the kids are straight.
Right.
You know, so you just gotta. I mean, shit, it works. It works in here, and we have completely different methods of parenting until it comes to cussing the kids out. We are definitely the same.
Yeah, we both childish
as hell.
Yeah.
All right, Keon, you got anything? Because we're not gonna let Dante talk no more because he don't know what to say right now. He's showing out.
Just remember that it's not about you. It's not about you as the parent. It's about the kids. And at the end of the day, if you keep the kid, as she said, as the goal, the end goal in mind, your decision making, hopefully your communication will be a lot better because you have the same goal, and that's the betterment of the kid, not you and your feelings as the parent or the other side. It's the kid.
I would say communication as well. That's very important, especially because you have to be on the same page with these kids. But I will say my way is the best way, and I'm always right. But
wait, what?
I just want to for real. Communication is pretty much is the key, and don't let these kids run over you. Period.
Be respectful. Be respectful. Leave room for growth because we're not perfect. There's always something that we could be learning and getting better. So let's keep that in mind as well.
I like that compromise word. The compromise. That's huge. The compromise is huge because you're not gonna always get your way And you have to realize sometimes you have to allow the other parent to make a decision, or y'all just got to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because like Coco says, she always right. I'm always right when it comes to Xavier, but sometimes I let her put her 2 cents in. But I always explain a better way, and it works. But I listen to her, but I still get my,
You don't always get yours, so don't do
yes,
that.
I do.
You're doing too much today.
When it comes to Xavier,
We're gonna talk about this tomorrow. We're gonna have a conference call.
Oh my God. So I feel outside of communication, I feel something that we really haven't touched on. These kids are different. And we can't have a blanket way of dealing with them. And I remember at one point I yelled at her and she stopped me and she said I hurt her heart. And that caught, of course, I'm like, wait a minute, but when she first said I didn't hear her, Shay said, did you hear what she said? And I was like, she was like, you hurt my heart. And I had to pray because our first thing is to yell, scream, or whatever like that to get their attention. But these kids are built different. And I had to pray and I said, Lord, show me how to raise this one, how to prepare this one. Same thing with Xavier. Like, and my patience have gotten better because it is easy, especially when you have to tell him, take your phone with you and let me talk to you right, get you set, because then I got to give you 3 instructions. You're going to remember, you're only going to remember 1. So let me, let's find a way to make this work. But we have to learn how to deal with each kid and how to deal with them so that, one, we don't give them a life they have to recover from. A lot of us, we're them zennials that our parents was half narcissists, half crazy, half on crack, and half on some rest of the stuff. And we did the best we could, and we tried to implement those strategies on our own children, and it don't turn out right. Realizing they're not like us. They're not. Like when I be hearing, I know we've been talking about Xavier a lot, but he's the funniest kid. When I hear him getting ranked on by his siblings, and his comebacks are so wrong, and he'd be like, well, that's because you got on 2 different pair of socks. And I'm like, buddy, you could come off better.
He's getting better now, though.
Or it'd be so often. I'd be like, come on, buddy, let's talk this through. You ain't fast enough. I need you to hit him hard. They calling you names and you coming back. That's why your breath stunk this morning. Okay. And that was so proper. Shut up. Don't say it again. So, you just have to be able to deal with them. And I think that's where that's my takeaway. It's like, all right, how are we going to make sure that this one gets everything they need to be a healthy, successful adult? The same thing with the rest of them. Them other kids, them older ones that's over the age of 17, fuck them kids. We made mistakes. Oh, well, we'll see y'all at Christmas.
I cannot. My takeaway will be, not even a takeaway. I'm going to say just making sure that if you are going into a relationship where you have to blend your family, whether a person has kids or only one has kids and the other one doesn't, patience, because you need that. One, if you have that mindset of, I'm not going to date somebody because they don't have kids or because they do have kids, you could miss out on a great opportunity because you don't know. Your heart will make you do stuff that you really didn't realize it would do for the right person. So, or the person that's matching you in that area, whatever the case may be. So I'm gonna say patience, because you don't want to miss out on something great just because you already had these rules that you're not gonna date someone with or without kids. Even though I still stand by, if something happened to me and her, I'm not dating nobody that ain't got no kids. You need to have them.
You mean something like we break up or something like?
No, like you go outside and fall on the street in a car.
That means she pushed me. Y'all seen that, right? That's what it was. She just pushed me in the street.
If a car, just happened to.
I just want to be clarified. So if y'all see me and they be like, oh, she got ran over, y'all need to play this back for evidence.
But yeah, so no, just being patient. That's it. And we thank you guys.
But it can work.
It definitely can work. It's definitely hard work, but it can work. But ain't nothing in this world, easy. Nothing. So everything has to have some type of work. All right, so we're about to end. We have been here literally almost 2 hours. We want to thank our guests.
Thank you
We
guys.
appreciate y'all for sacrificing y'all time. Go ahead, Cole.
Oh no, I was saying thank you guys because y'all could have been anywhere, but y'all are here in the best place tonight. And we really appreciate you.
Better say that, the best place, period.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, good night. Good night. Good night. And viewers, don't forget to, what is it supposed to do, Coco?
Like, subscribe, share, and make sure you hit the notification button.
Amen.
Good night.
Good night.
Amen.
Amen.
Oh my God.